What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Slime Rancher. Glad to have you here today. My name is Splattercat, and today we should be doing at least a little bit more science. Checking out this slime science patch, which essentially allows us to add a whole bunch of supplementary devices to our operation. Pretty happy with the way this game is developing. I'd like to see a lot more Stardew Valley-ish type mechanics going into it. Like things that develop the world and have like kind of a emergent storyline, stuff like that. But I'm sure they'll get the main mechanics in first and then they'll worry about all that stuff. I don't know how game development works, so don't ever take me seriously when it comes to stuff like this because I'm probably giving bad advice. I've got some carrots. You guys want some carrots? That's all that I got right now, though. I don't have anything else. I said we were going to put all these plorts inside the slime machine, and I think that's a pretty good idea. There we go. Perfect. Load it on up. So on this side, if we wanted to get ourselves an apiary, which we've never seen before, we can do that now. So we've got an apiary. We can also do a advanced pump. I think I've got an advanced drill right now. So let's go ahead and fabricate one of those two just so we have both. And we'll just let these run because, yeah, we've got the drill. So let's go ahead and we'll add the apiary right there because I have no idea what that's going to produce. I assume that it produces honey in some regard. And then we've also got our hydraulic drill over here that is doing its thing, siphoning off liquid resources out of the earth. We haven't found anything so far that requires like a huge addition of like oil or anything like that. I'm hoping it'll probably become pertinent soon is my guess. How did that chicken get away? Here, you go back inside of there. That's just where you go now. A couple of crystal plorts in here that we're able to play around with. Our financial situation is pretty solid, but still not the best it's ever been. Still not, I mean, we've got a lot of cash on hand. Got a pretty good amount of petty cash, but if we have utilities as a med station, that requires wild honey. That's going to be from the apiary. Warp tech is also a pretty good idea because I can deploy that kind of at the hub point. So that's a strange diamond comes out of there, a hexacomb, deep brine, a pink plort. Okay. Slime stage comes from spiral steam, royal jelly, indigonium, and pink plorts. So some of these are probably rare spawns that you get out of the drills and fabricators would be my estimate. That's just what I think probably is happening here. Looking okay right there, so I think I'll probably just get these fronts stocked on crystal plorts just in case I need them someday. I know people in the comments have been saying that I need plorts of like all kinds. Like there will be no break. That side, we got about 8 minutes till that's done, so I'll check on it at the end of the episode, essentially, and just make sure that that's all good to go. I do think it would be a strong idea to start collecting more pink plorts. I know it's not incredibly entertaining, amazing gameplay, but we're essentially just passing time at this point until we farm out enough resources to be able to do some of the stuff that we want to do. Rad plorts, those all need to go inside the machine. Chicken farming is probably what's up next. Still got chickens going over there, but not nearly enough. As far as carrots go, I needed to stock the tanks for the crystal slimes, but I'm going to do that in just a minute. Got the odd onion right there. Let's go to the next zone over because I got to pick up some chickens anyways. And chicken picking. Actually, that works. Yeah, that works pretty fantastically, actually. I'm okay with the heartbeats. That's a big beat right there. Like, among big beats, that's like a Rick Rock beat. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones like... And then it just drops hella hard. It's not like one of those little tiny beats. Out here in the Bay, we like the slappers. That's just how our hip-hop beats go. We're not into kind of like that East Coast stuff with all the flutes and like symphonies and shit. And somehow Jay-Z's always involved. Like, you're just like, why is he even on this? Dude's old and he's washed up. Like, why is he even here? He's done. Cut him, coach. He's done. Him and Beyonce both done. I don't think either one of them's put out a good album in like 10 years. There we go. Stack that inside of there. And then we will drop off the carrots. I know I'm enraging the internet right now. I know I'm going to hear about this. But in the Bay Area, we like the slappers, man. We like the slappers. We like the things that hit hella hard. You know, out here we're bumping that I Am Sue. Bumping that E40. That Keek to Sneak, that Andre Nicotina. That's what we bump out here. That's what's hot. Well, not so much anymore. I mean, that's what was hot. I mean, I Am Sue's reasonably new, but all the other stuff was what was hot when I was coming up, when I was growing up. I should have a bunch of puddle plorts in here. What are you guys upset about? Oh yeah, the water level is going down. Alright, let's go refill the water. I didn't realize the water level was going down. I thought it was maybe patched out or something like that. We gotta grab pink plorts along the way anyways, because they're kind of like the feeder food of science, I guess. I will be collecting Fuds while I'm running around out here too, of the vegetable varieties. I think the first water pump is actually over here. Yeah, that's gotta be like the first one that comes up. Oop, I got no gas left in the tank. I sprint too much. Spending too much time on the move, my friend. Spending way, way too much time on the move. This whole internet thing, a little bit odd when you think about it, right? I don't know, every now and again I get these moments of introspection where I think about what I do on the internet and whether or not it's like a real thing. It's harder to explain than that. Like, doing this thing on the internet, it's one of those big questions you ask yourself where you're like, does this matter? Like, let's say, like, just like tomorrow, I was just like, ah. And I decided to just, like, let this whole YouTube phase of my life, like, phase out. I'm not saying calm down. I'm not saying that's what's happening. This is hypothetical. Because you got to put yourself in hypothetical situations in life. That's the only way you can see things from other people's perspectives. Is every now and again you got to fix yourself up with a little hypothetical so that you can get some solid thought in. See things from around different corners and whatnot. Every now and again you have those times where you're like, yeah, what am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? Like, is this a thing that matters in the world? Like, obviously, I'm not giving, like, inoculations to war refugees. Like, it's definitely not important on that level. I'm not Doctors Without Borders. I'm not doing things, like, on that level. But I'd like to think I brightened somebody's day, maybe. I mean, I know my shit's not the most popular. It's all good. I'm an acquired taste. That's fine. I acquired that taste, coincidentally, by that not showering thing we talked about in the previous episode. But... he smells like an old dish sponge took a shit in my nose. Like, oh god. You ever leave a dish sponge out and just let it get all soggy and shit? It just sits there and it gets that nasty smell. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Everybody does that every now and again. You just like mess up and you forget to like take care of it. So we already got them fixed up with heartbeats, so they should be producing like food around the clock now. I really need to focus on getting these crystal slimes all fixed up. With everything that they need, like, long term. Oh, that's not what I needed to do, but that's fine. That'll work for now. With the rad slimes, we're not doing, like, super fantastically amazing on plorts. But we're doing okay. Good stuff. And now we're going to go maintain our pond, because that was the big other thing I needed to get taken care of, because I spent a bunch of time farming out all those puddle slimes, and if they all evaporate, I'm going to be very, very upset. Yeah, it does look like the water level is going down as I do this. So I think I do need to maintain the water level, and they do seem a tiny bit upset with me, and they're not producing plorts anymore. And their plorts happen to be some of the more valuable plorts. And as I'm not a giant fan of just flushing money down the toilet, or down the outhouse, I don't know what facilities I'm using out here. It could be either or. My dad, when he went to visit his grandma when he was a kid, she had no indoor plumbing. This is out in the Appalachians. It's like shit in an outhouse. And like, yeah, everybody else had like plumbing, like in normal towns and stuff when I was a kid. He's like, that was one of the fun opportunities that you got to capitalize on when you went and visited grandma. Had to shit in a hole in the ground. I'm acclimated with it. It's not that bad. You get used to it. Pooping out in nature, staring at a deer, giving him a thumbs up and be like, what's up, bro? Give me a hoof bump. He's dropping deuces. You're dropping deuces. The cycle of nature, man. Cycle of nature, like Mr. Hanky said. Like Mr. Hanky said. We got that right there. Throw that out on that side. I mean, I think I'm mostly solid. What I really need to do is I need to figure out where the chickens be at. And I don't think they're close to their respawn either, but they should have respawned inside of our other... I think there's a pretty solid chance that there's some chickens around on some of the other maps. Pink slime, get the hell out of here. Were there any chickens up here? There's some stony hens. Seems workable. Chickens, I come to save your life from the horrible, horrible, vicious slimes that rampage. Dude, you just threw him. He's like, I can't live this way anymore. I can't be the slime that my wife needs me to be. He just threw himself off into the ocean. There are other options, dude. You don't have to run away, because technically it says in the frequently asked questions that, like, what happens when you put a slime in the water? Do they die? The answer to that question is no. Slimes use the water to travel from place to place. And so, honestly, you're helping an absentee father. Papa was a rolling stone, and he gathers no moss. However, rolling stones do have the tendency to gather bumps. That's all that I'm saying. They may not gather moss, but they do gather other things on that rolling stone. Alright, so I got you right there. The more chickens and whatnot. You ever go to, like, itch your nose and realize your, like, thumb smells? You're just like, what is that smell? And you gotta, like, focus on it, but you gotta, like, look around and make sure nobody else is looking. Because you're, like, trying to catalog a smell or whatever. And people get all weird about it. They're like, look at this guy over here. Look at this guy over here. Just sitting in his car, just sniffing his thumb. Look at this guy. Look at this guy acting all high and mighty like they don't do it. I'm like, shut up. You know you smell smells. Don't lie. You be sitting around sniffing your knuckles and shit. Can't lie to me. I know human nature. You can't lie to me. Random guy who's staring at me in my car trying to judge me right now. Trying to judge ya. Trying to judge ya. Got that right there. Yeah, I'll take a stony hen. Why not? I'll take a stone-tastic hen. I kind of feel like hybridizing everything with pink slimes is the way to go. It seems like the safe option. There are a bunch of these ones over here. I don't really have any of them yet. So it's a briar hen, which apparently likes to ramble in the bramble, according to my Slimepedia. I don't like brambles. We got Scottish thistle where I live. That shit sucks, man. Shit sucks hard. The dog learned that lesson real quick, though. I take my dog out every day for like an hour-long walk because I find that for a puppy, it really helps offset the energy. It also keeps from getting fat, which is kind of an issue. I noticed my dog was getting fat, and I was like, alright, I mean, you're more adorable when you're fat, I'll give you that. Like, you're way cuter when you're husky. But I don't want you to die because I'm kind of getting attached to you at this point. I've had you for like 3 months now, and I'm sort of getting attached. Like, I'm starting to have those thoughts in the late of the night, like, what am I going to do when he dies? You know how, like, every now and again you think that about your pet? You're like, oh my god, what am I going to do when he dies? I think it's going to be over. When that happens, I'm just going to be a mess of nerves and just weeping in a corner somewhere. I'm starting to get that feeling about my dog, where I'm just like, man, kind of like having you around, little buddy. And it helps that my dog's a badass, too. It helps. I like the fact that my dog is like, what's up, what's up? Like, when people try to walk up on me, my dog gets in between me and them, and he just, like, chills. Like, he's still friendly, like, he'll let him pet him and everything. But he's like, I got my eye on you, fool. I got my eye on you. What's up? Like, when people are acting weird, he, like, leans on the leash hella hard, and he just, like, stares at him. I was like, yeah, that's my dog right there. That's my dog right there. No nonsense. A.K.A. Winston, A.K.A. White Lightning, A.K.A. Cookies and Kill, A.K.A. The Bruiser, A.K.A. Cat Choker. He's got lots of nicknames. You know, he doesn't know which one to answer to at this point, and I think I may have created kind of a recurring problem for him as far as, like, answering the call goes, but still. It's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. If you don't have a dog, they are unique. Don't you dare eat my bramble chicken. That's my bramble chicken. Bramble chicken costs at least $7. when you're at the Cafe del Splatador. Come along, Bramble Chickens. Come along. Come along. Yeah, Bramble Chicken vacuuming. Oh, there's another one. Tried to run from me, but I know it too well. I said Bramble Chicken. I know your game. Can't escape from... Little bastard ate my chicken. That's like one of the biggest crimes you can commit in life. Eating a man's chicken. Like, if I got a bucket of fried chicken in the fridge and somebody eats it, we're definitely gonna fight that night. Like, it's gonna be dukes up in the dorm room. You feel me? I mean, I'm not in college anymore, but I was trying to think of plausible situations where somebody in my household would eat my fried chicken. And honestly, I live with respectful people now who don't do stuff like that. My wife's pretty good about it too. She'll be like, "Hey, are you going to eat this thing?" And if I say yes, she might be a tiny bit salty if she particularly wanted it. Oh, hey. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, Tar. Don't you dare. Oh, he hybridized and went all rage mode. Never mind, you can have him. I don't want him. Bramble chickens, Bramble chickens. Briar hens are always better than fryer hens. The fryer hens are always preachy. Always telling you about giving your life away to the Jesus and stuff, and I'm like, ugh. I go to church for this. I'll play Slime Rancher for this. I'm lying, I don't go to church. I shouldn't laugh about that. Well, maybe I should, I don't know. Whatever. It's just something I don't ever think about. Like, it's kind of weird, but like, calm down, chat, right now, calm down, chat. Because something's about to happen here that's never happened before. I'm about to make a proclamation that's going to make some people upset, but like, religion doesn't factor into anything for me. Like, it's just something that I don't think about, which is kind of odd. Like, because for some people it seems like a really, really big deal, and that's okay. But I just don't even think about it. Like, it's not even a thing. It's just like, oh, yeah, sure. Whatever floats your boat, if that's what you're into, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Do your thing. But, like, for me, it's never something that, like, consciously comes up where I'm like, hey, I need to go to church today or X will happen. You know, like, it's never, like, a negotiating point for my daily activities. I've got more water, and I think I came out here on this adventure specifically... What's going on back up in here? I hear chickens. They must be up on this ledge right here because all those slimes are looking hella hungry. And I hear the sound of rushing chickens. Rushing chickens everywhere. I think this is the zone exit. Yeah. So now we're up out of chia. Please don't fall in water. Also, I hope you have good knees because that was kind of a long fall. Robotic slime ranching knees. They come standard with every single purchase of slime ranching vacuum shotgun projector thing. With my slime Nerf gun, basically. Cool. Back in base. Doing our thing. Unconcerned. Unfazed. Got all that goodness. Got some of that goodness. We're gonna have to spend a little bit of time harvesting the rest of this. But that's okay to me. That's okay. I'm alright. Doesn't really matter now. Alright, yeah. Most people don't remember the Riddling Kids. I remember the Riddling Kids. Man, they were famous for like a day. Music industry's kind of vicious like that though. Although it's kind of your fault. Like, I'll be honest, like most bands that fall off, there's a good reason. It's because they stop making good music. And it's just like they have that one album. You gotta be careful when you're in the music industry. You gotta save that moolah. Too many people out there. Sports stars too, you know. Promise me, Nerdcastle, all you people out there that are on like the sports teams, playing football, basketball, whatever. Promise me you'll save your money. Cause it's sad, man. I watched a bunch of documentaries on like what happens to most athletes. And it's just like they spend all their time just buying out the bars and shit like that. And like buying gold chains and all kinds of crazy shit. And then like, I'm not gonna lie, I do the same thing. I'd be walking around with all kinds of baller shit if I was rich. Cause I'm a bad person. Fundamentally, I'm a bad person and I like nice things. Sorry, at least I can admit to it. At least I understand that like, apparently materialism is what gets me going in the morning or something. I don't know. Because I do the exact same. If I had like $50 million in disposable cash, I'd be like, oh yeah, look at this Lambo. I had it upholstered with gold chainmail because I could. Why not? You know, like, because I'm an asshole. But, that being said, that's if I got like an influx of $50 million for free. Like, if I just lucked into it and it was like, oh, okay, I hit the lotto. Because they don't train you for that. Alternatively, if I earned my money, however, like if that's how I got my Gouda. The chicken slaughter that just took place. The sheer volume of chicken slaughter was like, damn, that's some chicken slaughter. I'm going to put the carrots in there for now, and that'll just feed them up over time, I hope. I don't know. Let me squirt a couple briar hens in here. Kind of just like see what happens with that. We'll leave chickens of all types in there because we need a variety. And there's a bunch of stuff in there, but we haven't harvested either, so I think we're still hanging on. Like, if I earn the money, though, Nerdcastle, promise me, from you to me, right now, that if you ever get, like, super rich and famous like that, just, like, I don't know, maybe save a couple dollars here and there. Kind of just keep that shit in reserve. Just in case. Because you never know. And then these guys over here haven't been fed in like 1,000 years, so I'm going to give them like a huge supply of everything they like. Oh, really? They don't like the brambles? I thought they liked brambles. Hold up. What? Oh, they eat roostros. That makes sense, because roostros are the same color as them. That makes sense. I don't know why that makes sense, but for some reason it makes sense. For some reason it's just like, oh, yeah, okay. Will you guys stop launching your dookies across, like, for real, though? But really, though. I don't know if I want to sell this crop. Or if I want to save this crop. I'm not sure what the good plan is here. Throw the pink plorts in there, though. And then we got a harvest coming through here. Oh, look at that. We got more of the little fossils. Alright. Yeah, throw them in there, because I think that's all they're useful for. And then we'll grab a couple more jelly stones. Cool. And then we got the advanced apiary in here. We got a slime ball hoop for 7,500. The advanced apiary seems like something I should probably spend money on right about now. How about, let's sell this batch just to make sure we got a little bit of extra money laying around. The apiary will be done in like 1 minute. So let's go get our money. We'll come back, we'll get the apiary, and that's where we'll call it quits for the day. That seems like a fair exchange. They all seem to be mostly kind of pretty hungry. So crystal plorts are up, so we should get a decent amount of scratch from that. Boom slimes are down, as are honey plorts. It's only 1,200 if I do it like that, or I could just give this big ass batch over to the great science god. These guys definitely need more water, apparently. I don't really know what they're upset about. They're upset about something. Huh. Wonder what they're upset about. Oh, you gotta shoot them with water every now and again? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe there's too many in here. Too large a quantity in the habitat. Yeah, it looks like what it was. So is it 4 that sets them over the edge, or is it 5? Looks like 4 is working okay. I think you can't have more than 4 in there. It probably said something about that on the puddle. Let's look. Yeah, drunk up by puddle slimes, refills over time. Puddle slime, where are you at? Ah, puddle slimes are exceptionally shy and will not produce plorts if they are in close proximity to more than 3 other slimes. Okay. Including themselves or excluding themselves? Probably excluding themselves. I can't imagine that includes themselves. That's ready right there. Looks like we got spiral steam. If you search for it, you'll find something wonderful. We got buzzwax on that side, and then we also got access to some of those honeycomb things it was talking about. And I think these just get... I think those get folded, like, right back in. Like, I don't think you ever use those for anything other than slime science. So, looking good to me. As far as utilities go for the med station, we need wild honey, which we did not get from our apiary. Deep brine spiral steam. Man, we need all kinds of stuff for some of these. This is going to be quite the farm. And so, yeah, I think we found our... resource hog. Bee stuff and geometry, the chocolate and peanut butter of nature. Cool. Throw that in there, and we'll call it a day. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all next time for another episode or deux of Slime Rancher. I appreciate you stopping on in. I'll appreciate you stopping on in tomorrow, because I can trust you to do that, right? All right, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.